Welcome to day 183 of the 300 movie challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of August 2009, which was Inglourious Basterds.
So, half of this movie's in German, and about a quarter of it's in French.
And
And then
we didn't have
yeah, and
subtitles.
for some reason we didn't have subtitles. So that sucks. And ironically, one of us had seen this movie before.
Can you guess who it is?
Hi.
So Tara watched this movie before.
Yes, I guess the weird story that went along with it is that I was in India and one of my uncles, I think it was one of my uncles, or at the very least it was like a family, they had recently put up like a at-home theater kind of thing, and they were like, oh yeah, it has like surround sound and everything.
Oh dear.
And he asked us if we wanted to watch anything, and he's like, oh wait, there's like this one American movie that came out and everything. And me and Rach were like, okay, and we didn't really know which movie he was talking about. And then we ended up watching Inglourious Basterds.
Well,
Yeah,
but you had subtitles.
I did have subtitles.
So,
How did you
Ironically
have
enough.
How did you have subtitles and we didn't?
That's a brilliant question.
see,
But, it's
no, finish your thought.
it's probably because the whole movie wasn't dubbed over either, so that they would definitely need the subtitles too. Except we also definitely needed the subtitles, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, the person didn't think that we needed the subtitles.
I don't know. But
If anyone has seen this movie in theaters, did the theatrical release have subtitles,
I
or
feel
was
like
it
it had
also?
to have had
It
subtitles.
had to have, otherwise no
I
one would.
hope so.
Yeah.
But with that said, you know, this is, of course, Tarantino, and he did Pulp Fiction, which we saw way at the beginning of this.
Yep.
And from Pulp Fiction, we kind of came away being like, it's objectively good, but personally, like, that was kind of our reaction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I feel that even with subtitles, it kind of falls into the same kind of state, but it's a little bit... To me, at least, I'm a bit more split on it, because... Okay. There is one thing I do like, in particular. Actually, two things. One is that the cinematography is really good. In terms
Yeah.
Cinematography is really, really nice. Like when she's running away, like in the first scene and everything, there are like a notable amount of shots that are done really nicely. Like when the camera slowly pans down below the floorboards.
Yeah, there's a lot
And,
of
like-
very slow panning shots that last like a long time.
Yeah.
So,
And then also the shot where she's running away and the camera stays still as she's running away, as if to like show the amount of distance between her and the house too.
yeah.
So you can appreciate that distance and you understand why when he fired the gun it definitely wouldn't have reached her and stuff.
No. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. And then like when near the end where like everyone shows up at the theater, there's like one they like don't cut for like a long time as they like track through a bunch of people talking.
Yeah.
I noticed that, and they kind of moved around. So like the stuff like that is really nice. So that's one thing. And the other thing is that when I could understand him, because when he was speaking English, the main like German guy, I think his name is like Landa or something.
Yeah.
Lando? Landa?
I think it's Landa. Yeah.
Yeah.
He, I do think he portrays the whole like, you know, yeah, I'm an asshole, I fucking embrace it kind of like archetype.
Yeah.
That, like, and I think he portrays that really well. So in terms of that performance and like his attitude and stuff like that. I like that in terms of, it's kind of someone who, like, to me, like, you hate him, but like that's good, right?
Yeah,
You hate him
that's
as
the
well.
point.
Right. So I like that aspect of him, in that regard. So I like that.
I also like the musical score and stuff.
The music's
Like,
weird, but it's like weird in a good way.
yeah, because I appreciate the fact, you know how we complained during Saint how they would switch between the musics and everything and it didn't work at all.
Yeah.
Well, here, even though for certain scenes they did switch between like two like points in a scene, like if they're switching between characters and stuff, and it would switch musics, it wasn't disruptive when it did that.
It is kind of interesting because they were very distinctly different kinds of tracks too.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. Like, Quentin Tarantino is a very good director in terms of like all of the hard stuff that you can see. It's just that the subject matter, it's not something that I particularly enjoy.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like...
Well, that's all of us, yeah.
I feel like it's like his point is to, like, show stuff that's like as fucked up as possible.
Yeah.
And I could see, there's some merit in that, but at the same time, there's just this sense in the back of my head where it's like, I get this sense of like, think of like that high school, like, like high school boy mentality of like, ooh, it's offensive, that means it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I kind of get that, and I don't know if that's what's going on. I don't know, right? I don't know. I'm just saying that's kind of how I that thought enters my mind when watching this kind of stuff. Because, like, especially the end of this movie, the whole, when the theater is, like, burning down. And that's, like, how that scene is portrayed is, like, really fucking traumatic.
Yeah.
And
especially when you think of, like, in the future with, like, what was it? With the movie theater shooting and everything.
Oh, yeah, like, like, kind of shootings in general, and then also, because, like, and again, I don't know if this was the purpose or not, but it, like, you feel kind of bad for the Nazis, so it's like, because, I mean, was every single person in that theater an explicitly horrible person? I don't know. I legitimately don't know, right? Like, a lot of them clearly were, but, like, I'm sure there was, like, spouses of people and, like, stuff like that, maybe they were just happened to be friends with these people, but, like, weren't really involved. I don't know, right? And maybe you could say, hey, that's bad enough, right? That you were friends with, fucking Nazis, but still, you know what I mean? It's like, and again, just how it's shot is, like, as, gruesome and horrific as possible. It's really uncomfortable, and again, I feel like that was the point, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, but it's still uncomfortable, so, I don't know how to feel about that. And then, Brad Pitt's character in this.
With his fake mustache.
His accent is, like, so ridiculous. Like,
I feel like that was the point, almost.
Well, yeah, but it's like, it goes back to what I just said. It's like, sure, it could have been the point, but it's still ridiculous. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of like, I mentioned this for some movie we saw before. It was some, like, kind of comedy-esque movie. Where, like, the joke was that it's not funny, but it's still not funny.
Oh no, that was Monsters vs. Aliens, right?
I think it was actually, yeah. It's like, it's kind of similar, right? It's like, the joke is that it's bad and awkward, but it's still bad and awkward. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
so,
there's no punchline.
Yeah, so, I don't, and then of course, yeah, like, there is gruesome stuff in it. It's pretty. That said, I thought it would be worse, because, like...
Yeah, I did too.
It's
Yeah.
the gruesome stuff is contained in specific parts. A lot of the movie is people talking.
Just people talking.
Which
Yeah.
In
is a
German or French.
yeah, that's the problem about it, though.
I reassured them that before we watched the movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the main thing where it's like, you know, I'm thinking like, oh, if there were subtitles, I would be more engaged. At the same time, I'm like, it's literally a lot of it is just people sitting around and talking, and I'm like, even if I knew what they were saying, would I really care what they're saying? Like, I don't know, I feel like I'd be kind of bored for a lot of this, even with subtitles.
I mean, I feel like it could go either way for me because
Yeah.
I like the whole political intrigue part. So
Actually, I guess the thing is that with subtitles you could see the intertwining of all the plots and everything, because there's actually like a few plot lines that run separately and then they all converge in
Yeah.
the movie theater and everything.
right, yeah.
So I feel like if you could understand that with how they were speaking and everything, it probably could have been a better experience in terms of being like, oh, that's like interesting and stuff. But
Instead of only getting Brad Pitt's side of the story.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I give you that, but at the same time, in terms of like, how much would that add to my enjoyment of the movie? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And
I don't know how.
I don't
I'm just
know,
saying
and I
that
don't.
You would like. You would
Yeah.
at least understand it a tiny bit more.
Well, yeah,
Probably.
no, I definitely
Yeah.
understand it more. But so, like, I agree with that again. It's just like, but would I still care? I don't know. So,
I mean, I never thought I would watch this film again. So
yeah, I mean, again, we mentioned some good things about it. Like, again, objectively, in terms of like as a film that is made, it's done quite well. It's just the subject matter where it's just like, so. I do kind of like the idea of like kind of fictionalizing history.
Oh yeah.
Like, I do kind of like that in a sense, but again, so like maybe some other kind of
Maybe a
take
different
on
event.
the different events, you know, portrayed in a different way. I don't know. Maybe something like that could I could see somewhere else maybe working. It's just, yeah, I think to me this doesn't work, but I could see why someone else would like this a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, for me, no. But yeah, so that's something, I guess.
yeah,
It wasn't a bad movie. It's just none of us really resonate with it at all.
It's kind of sad though that this is like probably the third best of the year. Third or fourth? I don't know.
Wait.
this ending definitely contrasted the last ending that we saw.
Yeah.
I'm still upset.
We all are.
Yeah, because like besides Up and Harry Potter, like everything else we've seen is pretty bleh.
Lame.
Lame to worse than lame. So yeah. This year
And
is
I'm not really sure how I feel about the next.
yeah, then I mean the next
It
one
should be okay, at least.
I've heard it's decent. I mean, you know, it looks kind of silly, but I'm okay with
think
kind of normal silly.
Vaguely remember reading the book a long time ago.
Oh yeah, there's a book for
I
it.
didn't even know
Yeah,
there was a book.
There's like a children's book.
Oh,
Oh,
well.
I probably shouldn't have said that.
Oh well.
Matilda by Roald Dahl.
Oh my god. But yeah, so far this year's not that great.
No.
No.
It's like I don't think it's quite like mid 90s levels, but it's like it's getting down there though.
It's kind of just whatever to. Why was this made? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, what would we say like he's just not that into you is the worst still? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. In
I would
terms
say
of
that one.
understanding it and everything.
yeah,
And then I don't know if I would put Monsters vs. Aliens or Fast and Furious next.
I think I don't remember what I put. I
I don't actually remember.
I think I have Fast and Furious as the second lowest. Which is really sad when it's, in the same year as Transformers 2.
Yeah.
Ugh. I really did not think I would like Transformers 2 more than Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I know. Me
Ugh.
neither. Just because of the reputation of the Transformers. Wait, we're not talking about Transformers.
No.
Okay,
We
fine.
can save this for the last month of the year.
Okay, fine. We'll continue that later. We now
It
get
always
to...
happens to us.
I'm sorry.
It's
More
all of
for
our
Val
fault.
to edit.
Oh, whatever.
It's all of our faults. It's fine. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
I'm hungry.
Well, you might be satisfied next.
But the next movie.
We tried.